Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell up above. Thank you. So here today we have some leaked images for the Transformers Warfare Cybertron Kingdom series, and I have to say this has me hyped. This looks like probably the best of the trilogy in my opinion, and I'm absolutely and positively looking forward to seeing what we see in this line and beyond. First up here we have Huffer, and he looks very nice like his G1 self. He is nicely coloured, he has nice orange there over the back, and we will probably see a pipes if we're after getting Huffer. It seems kind of unusual that with this line so far we're seeing some of the more obscure characters in the main line, with some of the more popular and well known and recognised characters being involved in exclusives. So that's kind of interesting to see the idea behind that. I'd be curious to know why they decided to do that, but I suppose Hasbro are going to do things that make sense to them. It might not always make sense to the collector, but here you go. So Huffer here on the side art has a shield and he has a pistol. Looks very nice. And the next character we are going to see is Inferno. So for a lot of people that have already picked up Grapple, they will know exactly what to expect with this figure. I hope that the issue with the transformation part on the back is rectified for this version, as an awful lot of people had broken pegs from the first release. So I do hope that that QC problem is rectified by this release. This looks really nice. I have to say, one thing about the Kingdom artwork is it looks phenomenal. It's going to be very difficult to throw any of these boxes away because the artwork is so nice, and I like that this is packaged with a small window that shows the head of the character. Me, as somebody that likes to keep an eye on QC and particularly paint on the characters, very important, and I like this. The image here of Inferno blasting into a volcano or sort of lava pit is entirely interesting and really evocative of how heroic this Autobot really is. The next up here we have an Earth mode Ultra Magnus. So this had been rumoured and here he is confirmed. It seems to be a big rework and possible remold of the Ultra Magnus from Siege. Now I'll have to say I'm not too bothered by that. I think that that is a good thing. Once we get a G1-esque Magnus, I'm very happy. This looks close to what we've seen in the 86 movie, and it does make me think, would they re-release this in 86 movie packaging, or will there be another version that might come in the 86 movie packaging? Perhaps maybe later on down the road. We'll wait and see. One thing I will say about the packaging here is it does look quite close to what the robot mode and what the alternate mode will do. So it is a little bit odd to see that this Earth mode is going to feature basically the arms hanging off the back. So it's going to be similar enough, I think, to Optimus Prime from the Earthrise. I'd be curious to see if this shares any sort of sharing of mold with the Earthrise mode, particularly with Optimus Prime, or if they are going to remold the original Siege version of Ultra Magnus's cab. Looks very nice though overall, and I have to say, very excited for this guy. Next up here is Airazor. So this is a character that was very popular in Beast Wars and is getting a new figure. From what we can see here from this image, the character looks really slender, which is absolutely perfect because this was a very slender character within the CGI animation that we have seen. I absolutely love the head sculpt. The head sculpt is absolutely perfect in my opinion, and I'm very curious to see what the board mode looks like, because when we had the board mode in the original Beast Wars, it didn't look too great, to be honest, and I think in robot mode it looked fantastic, but in alternate mode it didn't look great whatsoever. It does give me hope when you see this board mode and how that might fill out itself. As I said, some of this packaging is quite accurate to what we're seeing in the figures themselves, so I really hope that they can pull this one out of the fire and certainly have a very good definitive version of Airazor. I've seen a lot of comments online that have even said about this, how is Masterpiece going to top this line, particularly with the Beast Wars characters? And I have to say, I don't know, because this looks absolutely outstanding. The last character though is something I was looking forward to big time, and that is Dinobot. So for anybody who has watched the Transformers, particularly Beast Wars, will know of the character Dinobot. Dinobot is probably my favourite Transformer of all time. Definitely my favourite Beast Wars character, and I have to say I'm really looking forward to this one. They've tried a little bit of different engineering, seeing as how his chest and his head from his alternate mode sprays out so much. What they've decided to do is basically fold the head down and have a alternate mode for his robot mode with the eyes look like they were stretched out. That is pretty ingenious engineering in my opinion, because they've hidden the dinosaur eyes here and they've made a decent attempt of what we used to see on screen. Now I'm fully aware that they've taken some liberties with this line and they have altered the looks of some of the characters, particularly the Beast Wars characters, especially in their alternate modes. I think that's okay, it's fresh, it's revamped, and I don't know what sort of media they're going to use to promote these figures later on down the road. I will say though that I absolutely love the Raptor mode. The Raptor mode looks absolutely outstanding, and from what I understand, this line is taking a heavy inspiration from the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So I'm all for that, particularly as I love the design of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. So as we can see here on the left hand side, Dinobot has his classic look, very nice, lots of kind of golds and accents there. He has his claw hands and then he has his spinning tail. It doesn't look like he'll have a sword from this image. I hope he will. I hope it will include a sword, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see what happens with this guy in terms of an physical review. Overall though, I have to say, look at the head sculpt on him. He looks like he just jumped out of the cartoon, particularly that head sculpt. That head sculpt is absolutely outstanding. And again, this is a character that I think a lot of people online have been talking about and saying, well, I don't need the masterpiece version if I have this version. I think that's a very valid argument at the moment, because I think that these figures look really, really great. And I think for the price point that they're at, it's absolutely outstanding. Now, some characters like Cheetor, for example, had a very hollow looking alternate mode and didn't look like he had a lot of articulation. It seems that as this line is going to progress, I think they might get better at these. I'm hoping they do personally, and I think it will in fact get better. I think the robot modes look absolutely outstanding though. I think out of anything, the robot modes look absolutely brilliant. But for me, the alternate mode of Megatron, the T-Rex mode, looks absolutely outstanding. So maybe, just maybe, we are going to see Beast Wars characters that have awesome alternate modes and awesome robot modes. So that's where we are now. I think the next reveals are going to be Waspinator and Scorponok. I don't think that they're too far behind, and I also don't think that Tarantulas is too far behind either. Who do you think is going to come next? Who would you like to see come next? Let me know in the comments below. Have these characters tickled your fancy so far? Have you pre-ordered or purchased any of these characters so far? I know I have collected basically the whole line thus far. Not in hand, but I have certainly pre-ordered all of these guys, because this is a line I don't think anybody's going to want to miss out on, particularly if you're a Beast Wars fan and if you're a G1 fan also. I think it's going to be interesting to see though if they do eventually release a version of Beast Wars Inferno, how they're going to do that one, because they have Inferno in this line, and I'm sure for the normal normies, as they would be called, walking down the aisle, if they've bought one Inferno, surely if they bought another. But this one is going to be a red fire ant, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Hasbro decide to do with that one. That's my talk for today. Very excited for this. These look fantastic. Day one pre-order as soon as these go up, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck till all are one.